pituitary gland, thyroid gland, and eye. So in this we will discuss the competency, development and development basis of pituitary gland, thyroid gland and eye. So first we will start with pituitary gland. It has dual ectodermal origin. One is from roof of stomodium, that is Rathke's pouch, that gives rise to adenohypophysis. The second one is neuroectoderm of diencephalon, a brain part, that gives rise to neurohypophysis. So first we will start with adenohypophysis. Adenohypophysis has got one anterior wall. So anterior wall of Rathke's pouch proliferates into pars distalis part of pituitary gland. Posterior wall has little growth and it gives rise to pars intermedia. Then cranial or rostral growth around the infundibular stem gives rise to pars tuberalis. So adenohypophysis has got three parts: pars distalis from anterior wall, pars intermedia from posterior wall, and pars tuberalis from the extension cranially along the infundibular stem. These can be seen in the figure. Then in between the anterior and posterior walls of Rathke's pouch, there is a cleft, and it is remnant of Rathke's pouch. Then we go to neurohypophysis. It descends from the diencephalon to give rise to three parts, that is median eminence, then infundibulum stalk or infundibular stalk, and pars nervosa. So neurohypophysis has got three parts: median eminence, infundibulum and pars nervosa. These can be seen in the picture. Then we go to thyroid gland. The duct proximal end is attached, that is thyroglossal duct. Proximal end is attached to foramen cecum, as you can see in the picture. Thyroid diverticulum divides into right and left lobes, and the central part forms the isthmus. Pyramidal lobe. It arises from isthmus in 50% of people and is attached to the hyoid bone. It is the distal end of thyroglossal duct. Lingual thyroid. Lingual thyroid gland is failure of thyroid descent. Thyroglossal cyst is due to persistent thyroglossal duct. Thyroglossal fistula gives rise due to partial degeneration of the thyroglossal duct. Coming to developmental anomalies, lingual thyroid is failure of thyroid descent. Thyroglossal cyst is due to persistent thyroglossal duct. Thyroglossal fistula arises due to partial degeneration of the thyroglossal duct. Then we go to eye. You can see in this optic vesicle, which is having a stalk. Then on its ventral surface you can see one fissure, that is called choroid fissure. So optic vesicle has got two layers, inner layer and outer layer, that gives rise to retina, and the arrow below shows choroid fissure. Development of the eye begins as one optic groove. So it develops from neural tube on day 22. Optic vesicles are evaginations of forebrain. There is induction of lens placode from the surface ectoderm that forms the lens. This is followed by formation of optic stalk and optic cup from optic vesicle. Development of the cup and lens. Invagination of the optic vesicle occurs to form a double-walled cup. Optic fissure or choroid fissure is a sulcus on the ventral aspect of optic cup or stalk. This optic fissure or choroid fissure allows for the passage of vasculature to lens and the layers of the cup. Retina develops from the cup, that is outer and inner portions of the optic cup, and choroid fissure closes around 6 to 7 weeks. Coming to anomalies. Retinal detachment between inner and outer portions of the optic cup derivatives can be congenital. That is, failure of fusion or acquired on account of trauma. There can be defects in closure of optic fissure or choroid fissure, leading to conditions such as retinal coloboma and iridal coloboma. Aniridia is rare and it is rarely seen, that is 1 in 75,000. Thank you.